Hey, what's going on guys? It's Amir and the day is finally here. Today I'm leaving out to Turkey, Istanbul and getting my hair transplant done, and I want to take you guys along with me and show you guys the entire process from when I'm leaving my house to getting to Turkey to finally arriving at the hotel and then meeting the doctor, the consultation, everything that takes place before my surgery, during and after. And I want to document this entire experience, so if you're thinking of getting your own transplant done in Turkey or a foreign country, you know how it goes down. I'm partnering up with Vera Clinic to bring you guys this video, and I want to show you exactly what you can expect if you go ahead and visit that facility and the kind of service that you can expect. I wouldn't personally recommend something or go through something that I'm personally not comfortable or trust myself, so that's why I'm putting my own hair and my own self through the ringer to bring you guys this video. The procedure that I'm going to be getting done is known as Sapphire FUE. Sapphire FUE is definitely a bit more different because there is less scarring, less damage, and faster healing time, and it is proven to give you better results with your overall hair transplant. Anyways, I'm gonna leave that for the professionals to answer that video. But as you can see, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm definitely growing out my beard a lot more. I'm gonna kind of have more of a length because what these guys are gonna do is they're gonna end up shaving off all of my hair. So I'm pretty much gonna be almost bald. So just to kind of keep the proportions a little even to distract from the balding, I'm growing out my beard for the next few weeks. I want to say maybe a couple months. I guess that's just part of the procedure, and when my hair does grow back, it's gonna end up paying off. I'm very excited to bring you guys along on this journey with me. So let's go ahead and get to the airport and get moving with this journey. Alright guys, we are at the airport. This honestly feels really surreal. I can't believe we're actually about to book on a flight to get our hair done. This right here is my friend Tayyib. He's also getting his hair done as well from the same place. So we're both about to book our flight, and I'll see you guys on the plane. Alright guys, we are on the flight. We are ready to take off. Till then, it's actually a really nice flight, Turkish Airlines, and I'm literally playing 8-ball right now while we're waiting for our flight to depart. But we're very excited. Let's get it. Alright guys, we just landed, we got our bag, we are ready to go. The next thing we're gonna do is we literally just have to find our driver. The place that we're getting our transplant from, they're sending a driver out for us, and he's gonna transport us to the hotel. So that's the next step thing on the agenda itself. You ready? Alright, let's go. We just rested up, had some good nights worth of sleep. Alright, so I think the van downstairs is here to pick us up. Today is our consultation day. They're gonna go ahead and take a look at all of our hair, basically give us a rundown in person of how many grafts we're gonna need, and do a quick hair analysis today. And tomorrow is gonna be the actual transplant itself. I'm also gonna do a little interview with the doctor and ask them, you know, some of the frequently asked questions about the transplant procedure, as well as some of the questions you guys left in the last video in the comment section below, so we can address some of your concerns and get those things taken care of. With that being said, let's go ahead and head right to the clinic. This was a discovery consultation for both me and the doctor to see the true depth of my hair loss. He started off with a visual examination to see how bad my hair loss was, how many grafts I would approximately need to get a full head of hair, and then I explained to him my personal hair goals to see how low I would like my hairline to be, the density and the thickness I would like in the existing area as well as the balding area. Once he understood that, he gave me a little bit of a homework to do overnight. He drew out my new hairlines and gave me two options on where he can potentially put it. I did end up going with a more of a conservative option to kind of save the grafts in case I need a hair transplant in the future. But once that was completed, he proceeded to take pictures of my hair loss, which would then be analyzed by the system to show him exactly where the grafts would need to be transplanted, as well as exactly how many grafts I would need from my donor area. He then proceeded to use this magnifying device to see the true depth of my hair loss on the screen, and even I was surprised to see how much hair I was actually losing. The amount of empty space that you see in between the hair follicles was showing the hair I was losing, even in the area where I thought I had hair. There was a lot of empty space and a lot of hair follicles that have unfortunately died, but luckily we were able to spot that through this device. It gave us a good idea on exactly what we were working with. He then examined my donor area, which is where the follicles would be extracted from. Luckily, we found that my donor area was very thick and healthy, and there were a good amount of double and and triple grafts, meaning that when those grafts would be transplanted onto my head, I would have great density and thickness with my overall results. Alright guys, it is almost 7:15 in the morning. They're gonna come pick us up in about 15 minutes. We might have a little bit of a light breakfast, but today is the big day. Everything that you guys have been waiting for and I've been waiting for is gonna be finally happening, and I am not as nervous as I thought. I was actually quite nervous coming into it, but yesterday after seeing like the facility, seeing how professional and clean and everything, it was definitely put me to a lot more ease, and now I can say I'm actually kind of excited, although I'm definitely not looking forward to the anesthesia, but they said it doesn't hurt as much. So let's see what it is. I'm dressed in the most comfortable outfit right now. I'm just wearing this oversized shirt, wearing some gray sweatpants, and yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna be there for like 8, 9, maybe 10 hours. So we wanna be as comfortable as we can. Either way, let's go ahead. I'm gonna grab some breakfast and I'll see you guys at the clinic. Got our COVID test done. We're waiting for the results, and then we're gonna move forward with I guess the next step. This is Gokhan. They call him the Picasso of natural hairlines. He started off by making final drawings of my new hairline in accordance to my natural hairline, as well as marking off my crown so when they transplant the new grafts, it flows very naturally with my existing hair. And then came the most dreadful part, the buzz. I was not looking forward to this, but I know it had to be done. But I guess it was funny. Then we went back to the studio and they made a clear outline of how many grafts I would need and where they will be placed on each area of my head, as well as marking my donor area where they will be extracting the hair follicles. And as I said, I did end up going for a bit of a higher hairline rather than going a little bit lower because I didn't want to end up using any more grafts than I needed to. But either way, before I knew it, I was all anesthesiaed up and my follicular units were already being extracted by the trichologist. I wasn't able to get the anesthesia part on the film because my camera was acting up, but the extraction part took right after the anesthesia. This entire process of the extraction took about 3 hours. The doctors were supervising the operation to make sure everything was going well from time to time. While the trichologist was extracting the follicles, the team on the other side were separating the single, double, and triple strands of hair so they can be transplanted accordingly on the correct part of the scalp. Once the units have been extracted, Dr. Zafar came in and started opening the channel with the sapphire blade. Now, this is known as the sapphire FUE technique, which is basically where the grafts would be placed. This was fairly quick. It only took about 30 to 45 minutes. And there was no discomfort this time whatsoever because I wasn't laying on my belly anymore. And again, this went very quick, very easy, no pain at all. And once this was finished up, it was finally time for a lunch break. I'm gonna play this clip from lunch. I don't know why my voice got so deep at this point, but here's the lunch. All right guys, so we finally finished up the first half of the procedure. The nurse ended up extracting the follicles from my donor area and we have them good to go. And then the doctor came in and they opened up the channels. And now we're in for a little break. We got some delicious kebabs over here. We got rice, we got some juice. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up and then we're gonna move on to the final part, which is the transplanting of the follicles on my hair. So again, almost wrapping up. The time went by like this. Like I honestly thought it was gonna drag on for a lot longer. But again, we're going by pretty quick, so hopefully we're going to wrap up soon. And once the procedure is completed, I'll talk to you guys then. Once lunch was finished, it was time to get the transplant done itself. I was watching Netflix the entire time while the trichologists were placing the grafts. This also flew by very quick, wasn't painful at all. I fully trusted the team. I met everybody on the team to make sure that they were qualified to do what they were doing. And I knew I was in the right hands. That's why I was at ease. I was just enjoying the movie, just chilling out and just waiting for this to be done. Once this part was complete, I did my first session of Oxycure, which I wasn't able to film because I wasn't able to bring any of electronics inside of the chamber because of the electromagnetic radiation or whatnot. But basically with Oxycure, I went inside of a chamber where they put an oxygen mask on me, which provided an immense amount of oxygen supply, which increases blood circulation and produces red blood cells. This is done to further solidify the transplanted grafts and enhance the results from the procedure. Alright guys, just made it back to the hotel room. As you can see, the surgery is now completed. They did about 5,000 grafts on my head, so that covered up basically my hairline and the crown area, and they also said I was thinning from the frontal area and they left the bridge in between. I'm gonna get into all the specifics with you know, what they did and everything in a later video, But yeah, I'm done with the surgery. It feels great to be finally have it over with. It went extremely smooth. Again, not too painful. The only, I guess, painful part was the anesthesia, but other than that, it went very, very smooth. Again, I'm really exhausted. I left at 7 a.m. I arrived at the clinic at 8 a.m. and I got home at literally 9:30, and that was because we had to take some COVID tests, all the prerequisites that we had to do before we started the surgery, and then the procedure of the surgery itself was about, I'd say, 8 hours or so. So it definitely took a little bit more time than I was expecting, but it's okay. Got it over with. Again, I'm gonna probably get some rest, crash. I'm again extremely exhausted. Right, guys, this is the next morning. We literally just woke up a couple hours back, but the sleep was not the most comfortable because you literally have to lay down like a dead body. But anyways, this is gonna be day 2. I'm gonna be doing like a Q&A with the doctor. I'm gonna go back to Vera Clinic and they're gonna be giving me the first wash. So they're gonna wash all the, I guess, donor area in the back and the hair and everything. And maybe do an Oxycure. But I'll see you guys at the clinic. All right, guys, we're doing the second wash right now. What she's gonna do is basically take off the band-aid that we put on yesterday, clean the wound, and apply an antibiotic serum. Is that what it's called? Yes. And we're gonna apply the antibiotic serum on there to make sure we're good to go. But yeah, we can get started. The redness you see here is not blood, it's actually an antibiotic serum they applied for better healing in my donor area. Then they ended up placing a elastic band on my head to prevent further swelling from moving down on the rest of my face. Afterwards, we did a quick 10-minute laser therapy session to further enhance the transplanted grafts. As you can see, I'm having a lot of fun with this. Once we were all done, we just chilled, got some tea, and I had a chat with my medical consultant Yan and Dr. Zafar about recovery and results and whatnot. And once we finally finished that up, we did a second session of Oxycure, which again, I wasn't able to record because I couldn't bring the camera in, and that was it. Alright guys, so it's been exactly a week since my hair transplant, and I can say the recovery has been extremely fast. Not as many scabs because I've been kind of addicted to just, you know, scrubbing them and peeling them, which I know is not the best thing, but you know, now it looks a lot cleaner. There was definitely some swelling after the procedure, as you can see over here, but it went away after about 4 days, so it wasn't too bad. I would say the most uncomfortable part was just the sleeping within the first few days of the procedure, because they instructed me to keep my head up and kind of sleep like I'm sleeping in a coffin. So I would have a travel pillow around my neck and then just sleep straight up. There's no turning, there's none of that. It was not the end of the world. I got through it. Right now I still have some scabs in the back, which kind of make it a little bit uncomfortable to sleep. Like they kind of like poke you while you're sleeping. I think even these will go away within a few days. Like right now, I'm so impressed with the recovery of how quick everything's been healing over here. If I tell you I got a hair transplant last week, you probably wouldn't even believe that I did. And I've been also taking pictures of my donor area as well. You can't really see any visible scars or scuffs or anything yet, at least. But since my skin is a bit on the darker complexion side, I think that's kind of helping me to my advantage of hiding those scars. But I tried to look deeper. I tried to even snap like closer photos of it, but I wasn't able to see any scars or anything like that, which is also a great thing. Out of the whole procedure itself, the most painful part was definitely the anesthesia. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 6.5. It's about 5 minutes worth of pain, but it's basically just like some heavy pinching if someone just doing this to your scalp like for 5 minutes straight all around. But other than that, 5 minutes in, you're pretty much numb and you don't really feel much. The process goes by fairly quick. They even had Netflix on for me over there, so again, it helped me kill a lot of time a lot faster. And the transplant itself, I would say, was a 2.5 out of 10 on a pain level. You really minor, sometimes here and there you'll feel a little bit of pain, but other than that, for the most part, it's absolutely nothing. I would say it's a fairly comfortable experience, and it's not something that you should actually fear going into. Now let's talk about pricing, as this is probably one of the juicier things that you're interested in this video. So there isn't actually a fixed price or a fixed cost operation. The price can definitely vary based on each person's hair loss type, which Norwood they are, and the type of treatment and supplements they choose to get after their hair transplant as well. The treatment that I went with was the latest and greatest package. They had everything included, optimized for the best results. This included the Sapphire FUE, 2 sessions of Oxycure, and 6 months worth of vitamins and supplements that they recommend to further enhance the transplanted grafts on your hair. And the total for that came out to be 3,550 euros. I just chose to go with the latest and greatest and the best package they had available, because this is something that I just want to do once and probably never again. If I do, maybe in the next 10 years or so. So that's why it's worth it to spend a little bit more money up front and get the best results rather than cheaping out and not being happy with the results that you get, because that hair that you're gonna have is basically what you're gonna be stuck with. So I wanted to make sure it's the best bang I could get for my buck. One part I wasn't able to record was the Oxycure, because they don't let you bring in any electronics into the treatment chamber. The Oxycure treatment is where you're put inside of a pressurized chamber where you're given oxygen through a mask, and this oxygen is given to you under hyperbaric conditions of increased pressure. Basically, the gist of it is that the point of that increased oxygen is that it stimulates more blood circulation and red blood cells, which is proven to give the newly transplanted grafts more room and more blood circulation to grow, thus enhancing your results even further. This is what the Oxycure chamber looks like. It's a 2-hour session each, and I've did 2 sessions of those, and I guess in the coming months you'll see the result of this treatment. In terms of post-transplant care, I was given hair serum, some vitamins, hair growth shampoo, and I'm going to be using that in conjunction with finasteride as well in the next coming months to again further enhance the transplanted hair. Also giving my existing hair some nice density and volume so I could go ahead and get the best results. Overall, I have to say I'm extremely satisfied with how smooth and how quick everything went. The folks at Vera Clinic really took care of me in a systematic manner. They made sure I was comfortable during the whole experience. From the moment that I arrived to the airport, the transportation, the 5-star hotel, the breakfast, the consultation itself, the actual procedure, and even post-procedure treatments. They answered any questions that I had. They explained why and how they're doing every single thing. And again, I felt like they were there for me every step of the way. And even now, if I have any questions or anything like that I'm worried about, I can just literally just shoot them a text message and they would be happy to help me. So yeah, honestly, this is probably a big concern that I had going into getting a hair transplant in a foreign country. I was kind of worried I was gonna fall into one of these, you know, cheap hair mills that appear great on the outside, and when you step in, it's just a complete different story. But you know, I'm very happy it turned out the way that it did. And the moment I stepped in, I knew I was in the right hands working with Vera Clinic. If you're looking to get your own hair transplant done, you cannot go wrong going with Vera Clinic. I personally went there, and again, I wouldn't recommend something that I personally haven't been through the ringer with. So the next video I have coming up is a Q&A session with the doctor at Vera Clinic, as well as the medical consultant Yan. So be on the lookout for that video, because on that video we're gonna go over some of the common questions that you have, such as over harvesting of the follicular units, when it's the right time for you to get a hair transplant, any of the common questions and concerns that you guys have. Those are going to be answered in the next video in that interview itself. So be sure to be on the lookout for that video. If you have any of those kind of concerns, you will see them getting addressed by the professionals themselves. So other than that, again, I'm very happy and excited. I finally got this area taken care of. And I'm very excited to see in the coming months the growth that has to come, and I'm excited to share that with you guys. So if you guys did enjoy this video, again, this was a monumental video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and drop it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or concerns or anything about getting a hair transplant or anything like that, drop that in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of your comments or concerns. And if you're considering getting a hair transplant, I'll go ahead and leave the contact information for Vera Clinic in the description below, so you can go ahead and contact them regarding an online consultation, the pricing, any questions that you guys might have about a hair transplant. Those guys will definitely be able to help you out. And I'll also leave my personal email below as well regarding any hair transplant related questions because I know I'm gonna get a lot of those, so you guys can go ahead and reach out to me over there as well. But I hope that with this video it gave you guys some hope, some inspiration, a good insight on what to look out for when you're getting a hair transplant, and I'm very grateful that I was able to share my journey with you guys. So this is just the beginning. In the next coming months you're gonna see results, you're gonna see hair growth coming in, and I'm very excited for that. So be sure to be subscribed and have your notification bell on so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.